Hello for another episode of Ron's T-Bone Shed in the garage. Hey, I came across something kind of cool. I talk a lot, maybe not a lot, but I think I talk a lot about the 1950s York trombones. They're just really special instruments, the way they were designed. York made a whole bunch of them going all the way back into the 1800s, and a lot of notable builders and brands later discovered were actually apprenticing and working for York in their early years before they moved on to do other things. But I digress. So I came across something interesting. I came across a trombone here online that I bought because I recognized the name etched on the bell. And the reason why I recognize the name etched on the bell is because this company, which is a German maker, actually made the top line of instruments for York, known as the York Master Series, and that company is known as Bohm Meinl. Today they're known as B&M. I don't know if that stands for bowel movement or something else, but I was just looking online, and all of a sudden I saw this old horn and saw this what, 2, 4, 7, the octagonal counterweight here. Let me show you. Saw that octagonal counterweight, and a couple different companies made that, but then when it panned down to the bell here, I saw that, which said Bohm, and I'm like, no way, is that an actual Bohm and Meinl trombone? So I bought it, and I got it, and it's a small tenor. I haven't exactly measured the bore on it, but Bohm and Meinl made horns for York. I'm wondering who else they might have made things for, because they used the squarish crook at the end, which Conselmer and I think Bach and Bisher all use that kind of a crook on their slides. This is also kind of cool too. Their slide lock is actually, I'm like, where's the slide lock? It's actually built into the cork barrel. So there it is right there. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I got another horn like this. I think it might be that Keilwerth that's also made in Germany. But I'm going to be restoring this. Now, I put it together and I played it. And I'm like, there's something really weird about the way it sounds. German-made trombones are different than American-made trombones. And I'm not sure what year this is yet, because I still have to find I still have to find serial numbers for this brand. But the inner slides on this, the inners, they're thick, they're heavy, they're substantial. And then the bell is relatively light, it's kind of a German thing, light bell, heavy slide. But I was playing it, and it played kind of out of center. It was kind of fuzzy. It was taking a lot of air. I'm just like, where's the focus? So I took a look with my flashlight. I don't have a scope yet. I'm not that fancy. I took a look down the top tube here to see if there was a venturi in it, and there wasn't. There wasn't a venturi in that slide. And I happened to buy one. I think I bought it off of the Hickey's website, but it's for a 500. So chances are this is a 500. So I went ahead and I installed that lead pipe into this upper slide here. It's a little rough there. I'll smooth that out. But once I put that in there, this played spectacularly. The response was great. The center was wonderful. I mean, this is going to make me a wonderful jazz horn. I just need to do a few things to it. I mean, there's some dents, there's some bends. You can see this. I mean, look at this. This is not straight. If you look at that, see the counterweight's kind of crooked. This is bent, and it's like the top of the tuning slide is curving down, and some of the solders are kind of ugly. So I may just end up pulling the whole thing apart and disassembling it, and then putting it back together so it's kind of cool and pristine. But this probably isn't something I'm going to sell. 7.5-inch bell. Okay, so it's pretty standard for tenors back in the 1950s. and 40s. They were doing smaller bells back then, because it might have had something to do with the older microphones back then, because you get the bigger bells and you play up high and it gets this really hot sizzly sound, and that just crackles through those old microphones and speaker systems. So that's why trombones were heavier back then, and the tone was darker and the bells were smaller, was to create a really rich tonal focused sound. As opposed to a bright and responsive sound, which is the more desirable sound today amongst professionals. But anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. So, yeah, Bohm and Meinl, they made their own trombone. I mean, I thought they just made stuff for everybody else, but Doesn't look like a York. It doesn't have that conical bell flare. This has more of a traditional bell flare where the taper goes out, the stem goes out a little more gradually and then flares at the end, as opposed to expands sooner to more like a cone to create that unique York sound. So, but we got the Bohm and Meinl sound. Okay, so stay tuned for the restoration on this one. We'll talk to you soon.